Okay, so this is a beginner's guide to building a team in the Philippines. If you haven't done it before, you've never hired somebody in the Philippines, whether it's a virtual assistant or any other position for that matter. So this is what I would say. If you're new to it, completely brand spanking new, I would say the first thing is understanding the cultural difference. So in the Philippines, it's very Americanized. Don't get me wrong. It's Americanized because of the history. It was an American territory, colony, whatever name you want to call it, between 1898 and 1946. That means there's a lot of American influence. There's a lot of Dunkin' Donuts, for example, McDonald's, of course, and things like that. Cinemas are in English. English is the joint official language. But one of the things culturally that's a little different to, Western culture, let's call it like that, generally in the Philippines, it's less confrontational. People like to be, they value personal relationships, teamwork, communication is very important. And a lot of the times you're not going to get the big confrontational characters that you might get, occasionally in America, Australia, or the UK or somewhere like that. The second thing is finding the right talent. A lot of options in the Philippines. There's 100 million people in the country, plus 100 million, should I say. There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of educated people. A lot of people doing university and skilled and upskilling and all that type of thing. So you've got a lot of options. You've also got a lot of options of where you hire your staff. Do you set up a corporation and handle all the compliance and the legalities and have offices and that here? Or do you go through an outsourcing provider, something like, the enterprise solution would be a good example, or a BPO company? Or do you go through an outsourcing marketplace like VirtualStaff.ph? Do you go handle everything and do it all direct, hire direct, post jobs, contact the talent, and that type of thing? The third thing is onboarding and training. Once you've hired your staff, the key is to grow, to really make it work long-term, is to continuously look to improve. So you should be upskilling your staff. You should be encouraging them to, acquire new skills and get better at what they do. That's part and parcel of it. The fourth thing is creating a positive work environment. Now, you're hiring people most likely remote. They could be working from home. If you're doing it the smart way, you can be saving a lot of money by doing that. But communication's still key. Just because you're not all in one office in your home country, don't forget the importance of two things: communication and positive work environment. Now, I'm not talking about all that sappy nonsense that some people go on about. What I'm talking about here is having a good, proper work environment where, you have good communication, some, Victorian-style employer, for example. The fifth one, compliance with Philippines laws and regulations. This depends. So if you're wanting to set up offices and that, your physical presence, you're going to need to comply with barangay permits, mayor's permits. You're going to have to register with the SEC. You're going to have to register with local tax authorities, do Social Security, Piggy, Big, all of those things. The other option, of course, for that would be, and sorry, I've got something in my eye. Must be the enthusiasm of doing this video. Anyway, so the other option you've got, you could go through an outsourcing provider. They'll handle it all for you. Or if you're, in the US, the UK, Australia, and you're hiring people remotely, then legally speaking, they're contractors and they would handle their own taxes and things like that in the Philippines. You would have nothing to do with that. So there's no risk for you there. But if you wanted the extra protections, legal protections, then you would have to hire the staff through either your own entity in the Philippines and handle all the compliance, or go through an outsourcing provider who would handle everything for you. Now, your options for building a team in the Philippines, you could go through a BPO company. You also have that option on VirtualStaff.ph. It's called the enterprise solution, where you get compliance, legal protections, client success manager done for your recruitment. The second option is you go to some job board, or better still, you go to an outsourcing marketplace like VirtualStaff.ph, where you got hundreds of thousands of talent to choose from, all specifically here in the Philippines. The third option is you set up a company, you do all the compliance, you have your own legal department, finance department, and you handle not just the upfront compliance, but the ongoing compliance, things that I mentioned before, barangay permits, mayor permits, SSS, Pag-ibig, and all that type of thing. So those are your options for building a team in the Philippines, and those are my tips, the beginner's tips for people who've never ever done this before. Anyway, good luck. Comment on the video if you have questions. I do check it. I don't check it all the time, but usually once a week I check YouTube, see if there's any comments, and I'll reply to them directly. Good luck outsourcing. I'll see you on the next video. If you'd like to hire staff and build a team in the Philippines, then go to www.virtualstaff.ph,
the Philippines outsourcing marketplace.